Welcome to the cambsppug, Cambridge Power Apps and Flow User Group entry for the Global Hackathon. Our app is going to address point number 5, solution to track students and educators' attendance. So we're just looking at students and the fact that the national statistics are showing some alarming figures. Overall absence has increased since 2016-2017, with unauthorised absence now being the highest since records began. So we're looking specifically at the unauthorised absence problem. As a parent of a secondary school child myself, I'm really aware of how secondary schools are now looking at absenteeism, and that the current message is that a child's attendance in the secondary school years is directly linked to how well they do at school. So it's really important to understand for the school and get a clear picture as that absenteeism is developing over the course of the year whether or not it's a problem. And it's a problem for the parents too, because that picture is not obvious. So we're looking at two things. There will be an app for the parent so that the parent can book absence. Now again, as a parent, the frustration is that at 8 o'clock in the morning you realise that your child is not going to be making it to school. You've got until sort of 8:45 before it becomes a problem, and you have to make that key decision of, are we making the route to school or are we not? So the issue is more about, am I calling it in or am I not? And then by the time you get to a decision point about calling that in, you're sat in a call queue, or you're going to have to leave a message. You don't know if the teachers have got that message, you don't know if your kid's marked as absent, authorised absent, or whatever. So you're not quite sure what the situation is. You're busy yourself trying to get to work and trying to make sure that you've got cover for your kid being in bed, sick or whatever. What the guys are working on behind me here is a parent app. Parents will be assumed to be guests and they'll be logging in to report the absence. Now, because they're going through an app, that means we can have multiple parents reporting absence at the same time, and the problem of sitting in the phone queue goes away. The parent authorising the absence is basically saying, my child is going to be sick today. But what we're going to do within that app to provide that little bit of extra feedback to the parent is to be able to say how many days your child has had off sick this year. So we're talking about the academic year, as always with schools. Being able to say to the parent, okay, you think your child shouldn't be in school today, and you know, if So what I'm saying is, if your child has something infectious, by all means don't let them go to school. But if there's something that is perhaps more minor, maybe we're going to think about, actually, they probably should go to school, bearing in mind how many days off they've had. So maybe with a bit more information, a parent's going to make a decent choice. And they certainly might be making different choices about how they're booking that absence, because they'll see how it's being logged on the system. If you're in an absence app and you're about to report your child as unauthorised absence for the day, and you can see they've already had 5 days off this academic year, or 15 or 25, we're hoping that you're going to make a different decision. We're hoping that you're going to perhaps think, actually, they've had a bit too much time off sick, they're not really unable to go to school, let's see if we can talk them into going to school. Or they can have that conversation with their child to say, look, if we have any more absence this year, it's going to start being a problem and the school's going to start taking some action. We're going to cut to some pictures of the app to show you how a parent would go about reporting that absence. And again, it's really important that the parent gets that feedback to be able to make that decision, or at least have that discussion with their child about, is there a bigger problem? The whole point of unauthorised absence is that there may be a bigger root problem, and that's why schools address it when there become big periods of persistent absence.